For decades, an invite to one of Sean Diddy Combs' infamous parties was a ticket to rub shoulders with Hollywood's elite. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're taking a closer look at the infamous parties of Sean Diddy Combs, explaining everything to do with the mogul's legendary white parties and his so-called freak-offs, warning certain information contains distressing details. We're going to hear about my party. They're going to be shutting them down. They're going to probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things, just because we want to have a good time. White parties. Few events were said to hold as much cultural prestige as Diddy's white party. Well, I've always heard about the white parties. I think it would be really exciting. We have Miss Universe and Miss USA here, so we thought, what a way to show them a beautiful Beverly Park, and it's for a great cause. Organized and hosted by Sean Diddy Combs, starting in the late 1990s, white parties were high-profile, lavish events, particularly known for their exclusive guest lists. The dress code was simple yet strict. Everyone had to wear all white and nothing but. The decor was also exclusively white, which many say created a sense of luxury, simplicity, and high status. The parties, which ran from the daytime to the wee hours of the night, also often served as public relations events, blending celebrity culture with various charitable causes. White parties were held annually, with notable events taking place in the Hamptons, Beverly Hills, and other high society locations. The last major white party occurred in 2009 and was co-hosted by Ashton Kutcher. I think all the celebrities are already out here, so it's a whole different vibe when you party in LA. People have like the Hamptons, all that, but we shut it down. Diddy's white parties were notorious for attracting A-listers from across the entertainment landscape. Veteran celebrities mixed with the most of the moment stars, along with those in high society. Patrick McMullen, a nightlife photographer who attended some of the parties, told the New York Times that the events also featured a lot of, quote, young people and, quote, nightclub kids. The feats became significant networking hubs for those in music, film, fashion, and beyond. Notable attendees over the years included the likes of Leonardo DiCaprio, Solange Knowles, Donald Trump, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Chris Brown, among many others. Notable incidents. Being such a high-profile spectacle, Diddy's white parties often made for extravagant scenes. No expense was spared, and no detail was overlooked. The 2009 party was said to feature dancers, quote, gyrating in giant plastic balloons. It was also at this event that Ashton Kutcher memorably swung like Tarzan across the swimming pool. It's said that models often wore angel wings and occasionally went topless. In fact, photos from the 1998 party showed Diddy pouring champagne over a couple of partially nude attendees. In 2004, Diddy reportedly brought out an original copy of the Declaration of Independence, accompanied by tight security, of course. Over-the-top incidents like these helped cement the party's reputation as an event where anything could happen. You know this party? I think half the people there were butt naked. You would have loved it. Unlawful activity. Another woman is accusing Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit. It's important to note that Diddy's white parties are not mentioned in the three-count indictment the federal government levied against Combs: forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. However, distressing accusations have surfaced, including one from Adria English, an exotic dancer and adult film performer who was hired by Diddy to work a series of white parties in the mid to late 2000s. She sued Diddy, alleging that the music magnate asked her to wear a black dress to signal her availability for intimate encounters. She also asserts that she was plied with several substances and made to be a, quote, sexual pawn. In the complaint, she accuses Combs and another defendant of using her as a, quote, sexual pawn. Recording artist Jay Blige says he attended the 2009 white party but notes that he grew uncomfortable as the night went on. He allegedly saw inebriated men mistreating models in the pool, adding that no one intervened. These accusations have led to a reappraisal of the white parties in light of Diddy's recent legal troubles. Freak-offs. They also uncovered videos of elaborately produced sex performances with multiple victims that Combs allegedly referred to as freak-offs. At the center of the current charges laid against Combs are these so-called freak-off performance parties. Prosecutors described these X-rated events as, quote, elaborate and produced performances featuring adult workers. which Combs allegedly organized, directed, and recorded for his own gratification. He's accused of trafficking women and male sex workers to perform depraved freak-offs, drug-fueled sex parties for his own twisted enjoyment. Freak-offs, which often lasted several days, were held in secret. Many were said to have taken place after Diddy's white parties. It's reported that once the bulk of a list guests departed, the freak-offs would often begin in back rooms. These events included male and female sex workers. It's also purported that there was heightened security and staff to facilitate the debaucherous events. Participants. There are countless victims whose identities we may never know. In addition to Diddy, the alleged participants in these so-called freak-offs included his friends, sex workers, and select special guests. These private freak-off gatherings only included those heavily aligned with Diddy's inner circle. We're here, we're stronger together. According to reports, the freak-off guest list would shrink as the night went on, leaving only an exclusive few to participate in the more explicit activities. It's not known at this time if any high-profile celebrities participated in any freak-offs. Attending Combs' white parties does not equate to any wrongdoing, as the freak-offs were the after party. Freak-off items. It was clear that much of the information gathered was from digital evidence seized during a raid. According to prosecutors, the items used in the freak-off gatherings included large quantities of illegal substances, gallons of liquor, and other notable supplies such as baby oil and lubricants, which were allegedly, quote, essential for the event. During searches of Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami, law enforcement reportedly seized narcotics, videos, and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants, all suspected of being used for the freak-offs. They're looking for videos, photos, any mementos that he may have been keeping that would corroborate what accusers have said. Combs' employees were allegedly responsible for making sure these items were fully stocked, alongside such things as linens and special lighting. It's also claimed that IV fluids were sometimes administered following the sessions to help Combs and others recover from the physical strain. Legal activity. The criminal allegations against Sean Diddy Combs and his freak-offs are numerous and include trafficking, assault, and racketeering. It's alleged that Diddy's many employees were also involved, as they facilitated the events by booking hotel rooms, arranging travel, and providing payments. But no, he did not act alone. There were enablers from his employees, his co-workers, his assistants to other people in law enforcement that have aided him in carrying out these crimes. Illegal substance use was allegedly a significant feature of the parties and was leveraged as a method of, quote, control. The federal indictment against Diddy further claims that some of the victims were unaware they were being filmed during the sessions, only to have the videos later used as blackmail. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. Authorities have interviewed numerous victims and witnesses, using videos, financial records, and electronic communications to build their case. There isn't just one witness. This isn't just about Cassie. There are going to be multiple witnesses who are going to testify. The defense is trying to portray this as, oh, there's going to be one witness. No, there are going to be a lot of witnesses who will come forward. If convicted on all charges, Diddy faces a mandatory 15 years to life in prison. His attorneys, however, maintain that the parties and freak-offs were all consensual. Combs has pleaded not guilty. Sean Combs is defiant and has pleaded not guilty to all charges, but he's locked up in one of New York's most notorious and violent prisons, the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center. What do you make of Diddy's past parties and current legal troubles? Share your civil thoughts in the comments below. Executors say that the charges stem from years of sexual abuse and threats against women. In fact, the deeper I go into my research, you were 13. What were you seeing? I went there to see the lifestyle, and I saw it. I actually started to feel the fear his victims must have felt, because he did a lot of crazy __ to people around us. One day, I know for a fact he'll be behind bars. Things got way darker than I ever imagined. Savage whatever I want, I'm going to get whatever I want. What I've come to realize is that Diddy's life is one of the most evident displays of pure evil I've ever laid my eyes on. But I didn't want to make a journalistic overview of his life and crimes; those exist already. I wanted to specifically focus on his dark psychology, a deep dive into his mind, a study of evil. There are no misconceptions about me. This is the dark psychology of Diddy. I want to make something clear from the start. Usually, in cases like this, I wouldn't use unsettled lawsuits as evidence for dark psychology since the accusations are only alleged. But Diddy lost that privilege when he lied about what he did to Cassie. Cassandra Ventura, or Cassie, was a female artist that Diddy signed to his record label, Bad Boy Entertainment. She was 19 at the time. Diddy helped produce her first album, and not long after, he began dating her. They were together for 11 years before splitting in 2018. Not much was known about their relationship, but in 2023, Cassie, seemingly out of nowhere, filed a lawsuit against him. The lawsuit alleged that he subjected her to a decade of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking. Diddy settled the lawsuit right away for $30 million, allowing it to avoid going to court. However, what followed was a wave of other lawsuits from different victims over the next few weeks, as if Cassie's bravery inspired them to come forward. These new claims included more allegations of assault, abuse, and even more heinous crimes, which I will get into later. Diddy took to Instagram to deny all of the allegations, claiming they were just looking for a quick payday. He didn't specifically address Cassie, but it was implied that her allegations were part of this character assassination attempt to destroy his reputation and legacy. For a few months, there was no concrete proof of these accusations, but in May 2024, footage was released that changed everything. Disturbing new video footage appeared to support some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. I won't show the graphic parts of the footage, but it clearly shows Cassie trying to leave the hotel they were in before Diddy, wearing nothing but a towel, emerges. He catches up to her, pulls her to the floor by her head, then stomps and kicks her while she curls up, taking the abuse. The day after this footage was released, Diddy issued a half-hearted apology. My behavior in that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions. I was disgusted then, and I am disgusted now. After seeing this, I knew Diddy was a liar and a master manipulator. Although not all of the other lawsuits have provided proof yet, it's hard to discredit them when the accusations that were once dismissed as payday grabs turned out to be real, as they did with Cassie. Diddy used his power to seduce and control Cassie early on, and once he had her trapped in a 10-album contract, he started to control every aspect of her life. This is classic dark psychological manipulation. In 2024, model Crystal McKenney filed a lawsuit detailing how Diddy made promises to advance her fashion career, only to pressure her into a dark and twisted relationship. He allegedly drugged her, blackballed her from the industry when she resisted, and used psychological tactics like love bombing to control her. This pattern of manipulation, coercion, and abuse was repeated with other women too. April Lampos, another victim, filed a similar lawsuit. What ties all these stories together is the dark psychology at play: the manipulation, control, and utter disregard for the victim's well-being. The dark tetrad of personality traits, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, narcissism, and sadism, are all present in Diddy's behavior. These traits, combined with his immense power, allowed him to harm others while remaining largely untouchable for years.